Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man, got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man, Lord. Pass the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me cause I like she can count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see a now healthy Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers as they take on Dwayne Haskins and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here we go. 180! All right, D, let's go. All right,
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Garoppolo over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Let's get it.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
So here are the Redskins under 6-year head coach Jay Gruden. They'll be led out by the 3rd quarterback taken back in April's draft, Dwayne Haskins out of Ohio State.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game, bottom line. May not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Here's Haskins to throw. It's hauled in by Dodson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now it's Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And it's caught on the right side at Smith. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Garoppolo's pass complete to Matthews. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Garoppolo looks to throw. Coleman has it here right side. A gain there of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 1st touchdown on the year. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Get ready, get ready.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. On second down, it's Coleman. 7 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Coleman. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 40 now on second down, Garoppolo.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Montez Sweat in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. Two not to miss to close out Week 6. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now a handoff, Geis going right, and he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Haskins, and he finds McLaurin. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The throw by Haskins complete to McLaurin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Here's this half from, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. Here the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now.
Let's go. Let's go.
Again on the play. That's good for a Washington Redskins first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D.
Now Haskins to throw it. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Wide open receiver complete. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We get started up in the Meadowlands. Arizona making the trip east to take on the New York Giants. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front in that one. Christian Kirk, a touchdown reception.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue? The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On the ground, it's Geis. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here's Geis. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Come on, D.
Out of the gun, Geis. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Here we go, here we go.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Deep ball, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now a run with Geis. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's 3rd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. Haskins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Geis. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They'll hand it now to Geis. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And a short gain here down to the 22. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Docks it with a grab over the middle. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. On first down, Love. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was all capped by Bryce Love's touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter.
Check 13. Check 13.
They will run again with Coleman. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On third down, here's Coleman. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, his second touchdown on the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Got his Goes man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
54, right there. 54.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now a give. Right side, it's Geis. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's Haskins. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes this a 9-point game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. Completes it to Coleman. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
12 yards there and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on 2nd down. Garoppolo complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 21.
Here we go.
Garoppolo on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Garoppolo. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. The quick slant caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes us forward for about 6. And the 49ers now going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Love. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Staying on the ground, it's Love. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a victory here for the Washington Redskins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Washington, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.